Hello everyone, Tina Spalding Trance Channel here. So there's a lot going on in the world with wars and invasions and all kinds of things. So I thought it would be a good time to do a current events channeling for you all. Before that, I'd like to mention a couple of things. First of all, if you go to channelingjesus.com, you can find out about our online membership there, where you get 2 or 3 live streams a month, Q&A live streams where Jesus channels about all of these kinds of things, and subjects that we can't talk about on YouTube. So if you're really into some alternative kind of information, do consider joining us. It's $33 a month, and I think we have 1,100 videos, 250 of which, 300 of which have never been on in public. So there's lots of information there if you're needing spiritual support during these challenging times. Also, I have a retreat coming up on Salt Spring Island in British Columbia in September. We've just released it. It's not on my website yet. It will be on my website in a week or two. And you can go there to find out more about that. It'll be on the homepage with all of the booking information. So if you would like to meet 40 other people who are Channeling Jesus followers and Course in Miracles students, that may be something that you would like to consider. So check in with my website for the membership, and in a couple of weeks check in to find out more about our retreat coming up in September in Canada. Okay, let's see what Jesus has to say about all of these current events. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. When we began our ministry with this dear being over a decade ago, we brought through many books. We brought through 5 or 6 books about all of the subjects that are coming to the surface at this time. The propaganda machine that you live in, the history of the control grid on your planet, all kinds of things from sexuality to modern day systems. So if you are feeling confused about what's happening, we want you to understand that the books that we brought through a decade ago through this being are for this time. So if you have not read those books, now may be a time that you want to consider choosing them and reading them, because we go into great depths about the systems that you are dealing with and how they are going to play out. We have also been giving information for many years about the transformations that your planet is going through. And years ago, you may have responded with, oh, well, okay, that sounds mildly interesting, but nothing's going to happen to me. And since 2020, of course, you can see that the world is changing very, very rapidly. And even in this new year, you have had some tremendous shifts and changes and government actions in various places that are causing consternation to many. So why are we giving you this long lead-in before we explain to you what the heck is happening? Well, what the heck is happening is the Ascension process. The Ascension process is the transformation of the old into a more loving regime, if you want to use that word, although generally that's used in a negative way. The way of doing things is going to change across the board because of the Ascension. The Ascension is the earth moving from darkness into light, from fear into love. And what you are seeing on the streets, on the social media streams, in your government actions and in other governments' actions, you are seeing both things. You are seeing a fear of change. You are seeing deep entrenchment into trying to keep things the same, even if they are corrupt systems, even if they are unhealthy systems. So you are seeing half of the population digging their heels in, trying to maintain the status quo. And you are seeing the other half of the population, including governments and countries, we'll say there's a split there too, trying to change and transform the old system into a system that makes more sense and that isn't actually fairer. So we'll start with the riots in Minnesota as they are being streamed across the world, and everybody thinks the United States is diving down into revolution. The truth of the matter is, this is where some of the corruption and some of the old system is being revealed. And some of the resistance to the old system being revealed, the corruption being revealed, is appearing to take place as caring for people. But the truth of the matter is the corruption that is seeded in this particular state, although there is corruption all over the place in the United States, this is a particular heart of darkness, if you will. And we want you to really think about the bigger picture rather than going into knee-jerk reactions. Stand above and think to yourself, if all of my taxes are being frittered away on criminal behavior, if all of my taxes, which I work so hard for, are being stolen by fraud, then to fix the fraud, to shift and change that system is in fact a loving thing to do. What you're seeing on the ground, however, is resistance to change. You are seeing change happening and you are seeing resistance to change. And we want you to take the above the battleground view. That is what A Course in Miracles always tells you to do. Get above the battleground. If you're down on the streets and you're fighting for survival, then you are in the battleground and the ego is at play and fear and violence will win. But for those of you who are literally not on the streets of Minnesota, who are observing it through social media systems, we want you to do this. First of all, I do not live in Minnesota. That is your first statement. I do not live in Minnesota. Do I believe in violence? No. Do I believe in fraud? No. Do I believe in the Ascension? Yes. Do I want change? Yes. Well, if you want change, then old systems have to be challenged and new systems have to be implemented. It is that simple. And that is what you're seeing on the streets of Minnesota. You are seeing an old corrupt system being changed and being transformed, and you are witnessing the friction between the old system and the new system. This is a microcosm of the macrocosm. You are going to see the old system fighting against the new system. The changes that are coming to your planet are inevitable. They are coming. The ascension is unstoppable. The shift from fear to love is unstoppable. But the global governments that are at play are not willing to give up their control and influence easily. And so you are going to see friction between the old and the new constantly around the planet over the coming years. You are going to have a few years here of exactly that, the old putting up a battle against the new. So once again, if you are not in a particular war zone, we want you to go up to the 30,000 foot view above the battleground, and we want you to use your Course in Miracles teachings. And this is why A Course in Miracles was brought through 50 years ago. It was brought through for this time, because the only way that you are going to get through this rough patch, and it is going to be a rough patch by your ego's definition, things changing, things seeming to be destroyed, things seeming to be lost. But the old matrix cannot allow in new people, places, things, and events and systems without space, without room, without new energy. And all of that has to remove old energies for that to happen. The same thing as in your personal life. If you have deep resentments against people and you're judging people and you're finding everyone and everything guilty, you feel like you're a victim of the world, you cannot reach up into love. You cannot reach up into health, into freedom, into creativity. There's no room. Your mind is filled with resentments and judgments and guilts, self-loathing, illnesses, pains. This is the way of the mind. This is the way of spirit. You have to create space for the new to come in, and you have to raise your frequency for the new to come in. It is the same in your personal life. It is the same in your political life. It is the same in your international agreements. There are international agreements now that are being dismantled. Whether or not you agree with the dismantling procedure, international agreements are being dismantled, and they must be dismantled for new, fairer, more loving agreements to come in. Now, this is a process. You are not necessarily going to see the new systems and processes instantly implemented. You are digging yourself out of a dark pit, and there's a big ladder going down the dark pit. And when you start to clamber up the ladder towards the light, those beings down the bottom of the dark pit may pull at your feet. They may be yelling at you not to go up there. They may be yelling at you, don't leave us. But the truth of the matter is 50% of the world's population is climbing the ladder out of the dark pit. And those in the bottom that don't want to leave, the devil, they know, will clamber at your heels, and there will be friction, and they will yell at you. But for those of you that have been following us on this channel, we recommend, if you have not done so, to read the books that this being has penned. They are for this time. They are an education in depth about sex, love, religion, war, Nazi Germany, all kinds of things that you need to understand from a spiritual point of view. So once again, if you have not read this being's books, we recommend that you do. The reason she spent her first 5 years channeling, writing, was to get those books in print, to get them in the distribution system, to get them to a place where you can read them. So do so. You may be seeking information that is in those books. You may be panicking, where those books may soothe your soul. They have been brought through for a reason. And so we say, prepare yourselves by doing your forgiveness work. Prepare yourselves by doing A Course in Miracles. Prepare yourselves by training your mind so that the propaganda machine is not in control of your mind. This is the way for you to weather these coming years of friction, transformation, and change. Getting angry at the change is not going to stop the change. This is what we want you to come to today. We want you to come to a place of radical acceptance that everything is going to change, including you, including your life, whether or not you want to. So we say preemptively do A Course in Miracles and change your mind into a more loving frequency. Do your forgiveness work. Stop judging incessantly what is happening, and train yourself so that you can come to a place of contribution. Your frequency will be your contribution. If you want war and violence to end, then do not feed it with anger and hatred and judgment. That is of the same frequency. You must get above the battleground. You are all being drawn into battlegrounds. Your judgments are being triggered. Your egos are in fear, and they want things to remain the same. The ego wants the things to remain the same. Why? Because you have been educated and trained and conditioned in the system that does not want to die. And so a part of you feels, when you see the transformations happening, a part of you feels that you're going to die if things change. But that is your conditioned mind. Those are the lessons that your government schools have taught you, that the old religions have taught you, that your parents' generation taught you. And so there is an identification in your own mind with all of the old things that in fact aren't loving, aren't fair, aren't freedom-seeking, aren't creative. So understand that if you are in fear now and you are judging what is happening in the world and you are fearful and you want it to go back to the way it was, we can tell you unequivocally it is not going back to the way it was, and you do not want it the way it was. The darkness and the fear and the pain and the suffering that is hidden from a lot of you in the West is being changed and shifted. The system changes that you are observing that seem to make no sense or that seem to be arbitrary, there is a reason for them. It may not be the top rung of the ladder, but it is higher up the ladder than you were before. And so watch global governments trying to wrest back control. Watch freedom-seeking people breaking free from the old. And join in the breaking free from the old by transforming your mind and your beliefs, doing A Course in Miracles, doing your forgiveness practice. If you are not willing to do the course, just read the books that this person has penned. They are easy reading and they cover all of the principles that we want you to understand. Course in Miracles, however, is for those beings who truly want to create and co-create intentionally, who want to have some say in the world that is coming into being. But to do that, you cannot be considering yourself a victim of the world. You cannot see everybody else as guilty. You must understand your own creative power, and you must discipline your mind and your thoughts and your focus and your intention and your words and your deeds. You are the captain of your ship. But if you are not the captain of your ship, then your government is very, very happy to do it for you. Your old religion is very, very happy to do it for you. The old system is very, very happy to do it for you. But the old system cannot function without your energy, without your belief, without your input, without your fear, without your resignation. Do not resign, but empower yourself. Do not resign, but train your mind. Do not resign, but believe in love, invest in love, and invest in what you love. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you again soon. Sorry, itchy throat. Hopefully that helps you. All of my books are available through Light Technology Publishing in Arizona, if you would like to support a company. If you don't want to support that company, they are available on Amazon worldwide. Thank you for your support, and for those of you that haven't read the books, we get a lot of great feedback. People have found them very, very helpful. Please share this video. There will be someone out there that it will help, and subscribe and support this channel so we can bring you more and more information about these challenging times. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.